What if I told you the Philadelphia Eagles might be one shocking trade away from completely changing their season? A move so bold, it could shake the entire NFC and give Jalen Hurts another elite weapon just when they need it most. The name being whispered? Mark Andrews. Yeah, that Mark Andrews, the Pro Bowl tight end from Baltimore. Let's break down how this could actually happen, and what it means for Philly's future. The Philadelphia Eagles are back in the headlines, and this time, it's not just about another big win or a Jalen Hurts highlight. There's something brewing behind the scenes, something that could completely change this team's offense. According to a new report, the Eagles are being linked to a possible trade for Mark Andrews, the star tight end from the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, the same guy who was once one of the most dominant red zone threats in the NFL. Now, this rumor didn't just pop out of thin air. It started when Fox Sports insider Eric Williams revealed that several teams, including the Eagles, 49ers, Rams, Bills, Seahawks, and Jaguars, might be active before the trade deadline. And right there, sitting among those names, was Philadelphia. Why the Eagles? Because history shows they're not afraid to make aggressive moves. This is the same franchise that went all in for A.J. Brown, that built one of the best rosters in football through bold trades and fearless decisions. But here's where it gets interesting: Baltimore might actually be open to dealing Andrews. He's been the face of their offense for years, but his contract is expiring soon. Plus, the Ravens already have a young tight end in Isaiah Likely, who they're ready to develop as the next big thing. After last year's rough playoff performance, and with the Ravens struggling this season at 1-4, they might be ready to make a tough choice and look toward the future. For Philly, the timing couldn't be better. Dallas Goedert has been on fire lately, 4 touchdowns in 3 games, but everyone knows how injury-prone he's been. Behind him? The Eagles don't have much. Grant Calcaterra has potential but struggles as a blocker, and now he's dealing with an oblique injury. That weakness has quietly been hurting the Eagles' offense, both in the run game and in pass protection. Imagine adding Mark Andrews into that lineup. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert and Mark Andrews? That's a nightmare for defenses, and a dream for Eagles fans. Even if Andrews isn't quite the same All-Pro he once was, his experience, hands, and red zone ability could make a massive difference. This could be the spark the Eagles need to push their offense to another level, especially with a tough Thursday night matchup against the New York Giants coming up. Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. If Philly had the chance to trade for Mark Andrews, would you do it? Drop your take in the comments and rate your confidence in this team right now, from 1 to 10. Are the Eagles one move away from greatness, or should they stand pat? The numbers don't lie. Mark Andrews has been a touchdown machine for years. But now, one of Lamar Jackson's most trusted weapons could be wearing midnight green. Imagine that. Jalen Hurts dropping back, pressure coming, and firing to Mark Andrews in the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. The question is, what would it take to make it happen? And is it worth it? Let's break it down. Let's talk numbers, because when it comes to Mark Andrews, they tell a story of dominance. Over the last 4 years, Andrews has been one of the most consistent tight ends in all of football. In 2024, he recorded 55 catches, 673 yards, and 11 touchdowns. That's elite red zone production. In 2023, he missed some time with a tough injury, playing only 10 games, but even then, 45 catches, 544 yards, and 6 touchdowns. The guy was unstoppable when healthy. Go back to 2022, and you'll see 73 catches for 847 yards. But his best season came in 2021, when he went off, 107 catches, nearly 1,400 yards, and 9 touchdowns. That's wide receiver level production from a tight end. He's been Lamar Jackson's safety net, his red zone assassin, his go-to guy when the pressure hits. But now, he could be available. And here's the key part, he's on an expiring contract. Baltimore knows it. The league knows it. That means if the Ravens really want to move him, the price won't be sky high. We're probably talking about a mid- to late-round pick. That's the kind of move a smart team like the Eagles could absolutely make. So here's the question Eagles fans are already asking, should Philadelphia trade for Mark Andrews? Type T for trade or P for pass, because this one's tough. Now, while trade rumors swirl, some Real breaking news just dropped from the practice field. Giants running back Saquon Barkley, who looked uncertain earlier in the week, says he's feeling good and ready to play Thursday night. That means the Eagles' defense better tighten up, because Barkley is coming. He also mentioned having a private meeting with Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, but kept the details quiet, saying only that it was about the team. Whatever was said in that room clearly mattered, because this group knows they need to get their offense back on track. Let's be honest, the Eagles' ground game hasn't looked right this year. The numbers are shocking for a team this talented. They run the ball 7th most in the league, yet rank just 29th in yards per carry and 25th in rushing yards per game. How is that possible with Jalen Hurts' legs, DeAndre Swift's burst, and the best offensive line in football? Something's missing, maybe rhythm, maybe confidence, but Thursday night at MetLife Stadium is the perfect time to fix it. The Giants' defense can't stop the run right now, giving up 5.3 yards per rush and 140 rushing yards a game. If the Eagles don't dominate on the ground this week, there are no excuses. This game could be the turning point, not just for their run game, but for the entire season. And maybe, just maybe, for the next chapter of Mark Andrews' career too. Eagles fans, let's settle this right now. Should the Birds make a move for Mark Andrews before the deadline? Type T for trade if you're ready to bring him in, or P for pass if you think the Eagles should stick with what they've got. And tell me in the comments, what's your biggest concern going into Thursday night against the Giants, the offense, the run game, or the defense? The locker room whispers are getting louder in Philadelphia. A key star is fighting to get back on the field. A private players-only meeting just took place. And deep down, there's tension bubbling beneath the surface between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. The Eagles might look fine on paper, but behind the scenes, something's off. And this week could decide whether this team comes together, or completely unravels. The Eagles aren't just fighting their opponents right now, they're fighting time, injuries, and chemistry. But there's some hope on the horizon. Last week, Philadelphia officially opened the practice window for linebacker Nakobe Dean, one of their most promising young defenders. After missing time with a torn patellar tendon suffered in last year's wild card round against Green Bay, Dean could finally be on the verge of returning. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio said there's a chance Dean plays Thursday night against the Giants, though many believe the team might wait another week to keep him off that brutal MetLife turf. Dean has been itching to get back. This is a player built on energy, leadership, and heart. But Fangio admitted that even if he's active, Dean probably won't take on a full-time role right away. He's still regaining rhythm, conditioning, and feel for game speed. And honestly, that might be fine, because Jair Campbell and Zach Bond have been sensational. They've formed one of the most underrated linebacker duos in football. Both have shown the ability to blitz, drop into coverage, and make open field plays. Campbell, just a rookie, has been everything the Eagles hoped for: quick, instinctive, and fearless. The question now is, when Dean returns, how do you fit him in? Could the Eagles experiment with a 4-3 defensive front, getting all three, Campbell, Bond, and Dean, on the field at once? Maybe rotate one of them to the edge as a pass rusher? Because, let's be real, Philly's edge pressure has been lacking. The fact that veteran Zadarius Smith signed off the street after Week 1 leads the team in sacks, says everything. That's the kind of problem Dean's return could help fix. Energy. Pressure. Speed. The defense needs that spark again. But defense isn't the only thing being tested right now. There's also something going on inside the locker room, something that could either break this team apart or bring them closer than ever. According to multiple reports, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Saquon Barkley had a private, closed-door meeting that lasted for hours. Nobody's saying exactly what went down, but insiders describe it as a positive and honest conversation. And honestly, it needed to happen. Because this offense hasn't looked like the dominant Eagles attack we're used to. The rhythm's off. The timing's off. The trust, maybe, a little shaken. Pass game, run game, even the play calling, everything's felt scattered. So Barkley, who's respected everywhere he's played, reportedly stepped up and said, "Enough. We need to get on the same page." And that's what great leaders do, they face problems head-on. Now, let's talk about Hurts and A.J. Brown. Remember when those two were inseparable? Back in 2022, when Howie Roseman traded for A.J., part of the reason was his bond with Jalen. Hurts even threw to him at his college pro day. They used to be brothers off the field, now it feels more like just business. And that's tough to see. A.J. has expressed his frustration on social media, hinting that he's unhappy with the offense. But if we're being honest, Hurts is the one who's helped him become one of the NFL's best wide receivers. Since joining the Eagles, A.J. has gone over 1,000 yards every season and made All-Pro honors twice. So if there's tension there, they've got to squash it fast. Because if this team starts pointing fingers instead of locking in, things can spiral, and fast. And just to be clear, if A.J. ever thought about wanting out, Howie Roseman wouldn't trade him somewhere nice. He'd send him to a place with no quarterback, no system, and no playoff shot. And no one wants that. Bottom line, this meeting might have saved the season before it even started slipping away. Eagles fans, be honest. Do you think this team's chemistry is starting to crack, or was that private meeting exactly what they needed to wake up? Drop your thoughts below. And rate your confidence in the Eagles locker room right now. 1 means full chaos, 10 means total unity. Where do you stand? You know that old saying, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Well, in Philadelphia right now, the grass isn't just not greener, it's burning. After all the talent, the hype, and the expectations, the Eagles' offense is suddenly fighting itself. The timing's off, the rhythm's broken, and even simple things, like when they snap the football, are starting to cost them games. Something deep inside this offense just isn't right, and the numbers prove it. The Eagles keep saying, "We're fine." Jalen Hurts says the team is collective. Saquon Barkley says it's about the team. But the truth? Something still feels off. After that closed-door meeting between Hurts, Barkley, and A.J. Brown, reporters tried to dig for details. Saquon wouldn't spill much. "I'd rather keep it in-house," he said. Hurts echoed the same, "It's about getting on the same page." That sounds good, but fans aren't blind. They can feel the tension. The smiles look tight. The words sound careful. And now, there's a new problem showing up on film, one that isn't about talent or effort. It's about timing. Analyst Denise Selman, who tracks detailed Eagles data on social media, posted something that blew fans' minds. He found that this year's Eagles offense is snapping the ball later than any NFL team has in the last 3 years. That's right, no team, in any game, has been slower to snap the ball before the play clock hits 0. Think about that for a second. When the play clock runs down to 5 seconds or less, the Eagles are snapping the ball more often than anyone else, and not just once or twice. 4 of their 5 games this season have looked exactly like that. So what's the big deal? It sounds small, but it's huge. When an offense gets to the line late and waits too long to snap, it gives the defense time to read everything: formation, motion, alignment, tendencies. It's like showing your cards before the snap. The defense sees it all, adjusts, and then, boom, your quarterback is under pressure. That's exactly what happened last week against Denver. A key third down sack and a costly fourth down penalty both came from slow pre-snap movement and confusion. Even Eagles offensive assistant Kevin Patullo was asked if play calls are coming in too late. His answer? We just have to get better. That's not a confident response, that's damage control. And here's where it gets worse. According to Selman's chart, if you compare every Eagles season under Nick Sirianni, the 2025 offense stands out as a massive outlier. From 2021 through 2024, Philly was slower than average, sure, but this year? It's on another level. The slowest, most predictable version yet. When you snap the ball too late, defenses have time to diagnose, disguise blitzes, and react. It's like handing them the answer key before the test. No wonder Hurts has looked more rushed, and the offense less explosive. This could explain why the Eagles, with all their talent, look stuck in mud. Could moving the offensive coordinator up to the booth help fix it? Maybe. Other OCs, like Joe Brady in Buffalo, call plays from above to get a better view. It might speed things up. But unless something changes, Philly's offense will keep showing its hand, and defenses will keep punishing them for it. The Eagles don't just need better execution. They need urgency, real urgency. Because if this keeps up, they won't just lose games, they'll lose control of their season. Eagles fans, tell me this: is this just a timing issue, or is it something deeper? Why do you think this offense feels so predictable right now? Drop your thoughts below and rate your confidence in the Eagles' offense. 1 means total panic, 10 means you still believe they'll turn it around.